Hi guys, I just wanted to record a quick video because you may have noticed I put a post up about a body transformation challenge that we have coming up, and I've been chatting to somebody about it, and one of the comments that they said to me was, it's okay for you. And there's no disrespect in that, and it wasn't said in an intentionally hurtful way or anything like that. Honestly, it just comes across as, like it's okay for you. And that kind of got me thinking, because what was it? What's that about? What's that particular comment about? And to me, that really means that we're comparing. Yep. So, and it just made me think again some more, especially in this day and age, we live so much of our lives on social media, and we're constantly, so, we can't help but compare, especially when we're moving towards similar goals as other people, or maybe we're after similar things, or there's something that we've wanted but we haven't been able to achieve for whatever reason, and we start comparing ourselves. What we start doing is we start being negative, we start talking ourselves down. And again, it just made me think, like, things aren't always what they're made out to be. On social media, you don't always get people's real lives. What do you get? You get what people have selected you to see. You get the selective parts of people, how they want to be perceived. If people want to be perceived in a certain way, often they're not just reacting on social media. Often they're posting in a way that they want their friends to think about them, how they want other people to think about them. But not just that, when we're on social media, especially on Facebook and Instagram, we have to deal with these algorithms which are set in place so that we are seeing more of what we want to see, or seeing more of what we tend to look at. So not only are we putting out into the world how we want to be perceived, but then we are only being exposed to the things that we already believe, the things that we already like, the things that we are already exploring, right? That's what we're being exposed to. So we start to become more and more in our little bubble. And in some ways, it becomes more difficult to change, right? Because if we're becoming more and more exposed to the things that we are already looking at now, and then people are out there putting out the way that they want to be perceived, and not necessarily the truth, which is not a bad thing at all. If you're having a terrible day, not necessarily everybody wants to hear about it, and some people might even be happy that you're having the bad day, right? But so it just made me think, like, guys, we just have to stop comparing ourselves. We've got to stop making excuses. I listened to this great bit of motivation this morning, this really great tip, and one of the great things in there, one of the great quotes was, anybody who's achieved anything are no better than you. They're no better than you. All they've done is they've possibly had more self-belief and then taken the action. So whatever you do want to achieve, where you might feel resistance, you might find those excuses, you might find that negative self-talk coming up in your head, just for a minute, you just quiet your mind and think to yourself, potentially the one thing standing between me and my goal is my own self-belief and my own actions. And sometimes the self-belief needs to come before the actions, but not all the time. Yeah, I'm not typically a fit person, even though my body composition at the moment shows something different. And I have this belief in my head that I'm not fit. But I've just started going to the gym, and hopefully going to the gym consistently enough will start to change my self-belief and start to change the things that I'm saying to myself. If that makes sense. That's just an example. There could be all different ways that we do this, but I just wanted to put it out there. We just need to stop being so harsh on ourselves. We need to stop comparing, especially on platforms where it's not designed for us to effectively compare our realities. It's not what it's about. It's about really seeing what we want to be involved more in. And, if you want to be different, you just have to start searching for different things. So whether it's in YouTube or Instagram or whatever you do, you can start searching for those different things. But the first step is you need to identify what your particular goal is. So what is it that you want? What is it that you want to achieve? These are the things we need to identify first. Then we can start searching for it. But you know what happens? You know, Pinterest, YouTube, they make it so easy that even if you've been searching for these particular things, they still bring up some of the old stuff that you were interested in, don't they? And it's kind of the same as the self-talk, which we say to ourselves. You know, we might start to become more positive as we start to try and think different things. We start to move towards our goals. But what happens is, you know, sometimes some of this old thinking is still there. This old programming is still there. So as we're trying to change, you just need to associate yourselves with people who want the best for you, who will support you when you lose those first 2 kilos, or when you go for your first run, or when you apply for that course, or when you do anything that you want to achieve. So I didn't mean to be all preachy and that, but it just really inspired me just to share my thoughts on it, and just to tell you, you know, you could achieve any goal that you want if you just get out of your own way.